What's going on, everybody? My name is Justin Godsey for the Football Source. Thank you so much for checking out today's NFL game recap. We are now on to Week 2 of the 2014 NFL season, and we just got done talking about the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. Let's switch things over to the Washington Redskins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off a very disappointing loss. It's very much disappointing because that was a team who went into Philadelphia, got a big lead ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles, but all of a sudden they have crashed and burned, and they lost last week against the Philadelphia Eagles as they are taking on the Washington Redskins, who are having a nice homestand right now. They're going to be opening up the season. This is their first game at home, and this is a very drastic game. This is where all the headlines of injuries came today. The Washington Redskins have lost quarterback Robert Griffin III as he left in the first quarter of today's game, and this is going to be a big loss to the Washington Redskins. But you know what? A complete turnaround for Kirk Cousins, who came in and completely did work on the defensive side of the ball for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Kirk Cousins comes in with 22 for 33, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Very solid performance as Alfred Morris. And Alfred Morris is on my fantasy roster, and if you started him tonight against the Jacksonville Jaguars, he gave you a lot of fantasy points as he had 22 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Niles Paul continues to really have that shine on him moment. You know, everybody would think that it would be Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon getting, the bulk of the, receiving yards and everything like that. But no, Niles Paul, the past couple of weeks, has led this team in receiving. 8 receptions for 99 yards tonight and 1 touchdown. Niles Paul continues to explode. Now, not only is Robert Griffin III injured for the Washington Redskins, Deshaun Jackson as well. He is also injured, and I don't think it's going to be as serious as Robert Griffin III. RG3 is expected to miss up to 4 to 5 games. That is a huge chunk of the season for RG3, who has just been injury prone throughout his entire NFL career. And this is going to be, I think the Washington Redskins will be a team that will be okay. I don't think they're going to end up, drastically losing a whole bunch of the games, because Kirk Cousins is a very underappreciated quarterback in this league. When it comes to Kirk Cousins in weeks past, when he came onto the scene, it was in situations where nothing really mattered. So not 100% was put into the games because the Washington Redskins were already blown out, and the season was already gone, so they're just pretty much playing just to play football. And Kirk Cousins is now coming into a situation where the Washington Redskins defeat the Jaguars 41-10. He led them to an excellent game, blowing out the Jacksonville Jaguars, who fall to 0-2. Kirk Cousins now has an opportunity to start building this team for a winning streak. When RG3 comes back, he can contribute back into this roster, because this Jacksonville Jaguars team, yes, it was an easy victory, but nonetheless, Kirk Cousins made an example on what he is all about. A lot of people are saying, he should be traded. He should be a starting quarterback. I do agree with that. I said the Houston Texans could be a possibility for him, but the Washington Redskins continue not to, decide to keep him in, these situations, and they can immediately, start building up and doing work for this Washington Redskins team if RG3 was to go down. And it's examples like this on why they wanted to keep him. Now, when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars on the side of things, they're starting the season at 0-2. This is a big loss to the team, and Chad Henne, he led the team in rushing yards as well as passing tonight. 14 for 20 for 193 yards, 1 touchdown. Nothing fantastic coming on the offensive side of the ball for the Jacksonville Jaguars. As Chad Henne also, there was no rushing game tonight. The Washington Redskins defense kept that rushing game under wraps, but Chad Henne had 3 carries for 17 yards. Having to do most of the running work for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get some sort of success on the offensive side of the ball. Now, for Robinson, he did lead the team in receiving yards, 4 receptions for 75 yards. This is not the way the Jacksonville Jaguars wanted to start the year at 0-2. There was a lot of success with Blake Bortles throughout the preseason. A lot of people are saying it's time for a change of mind in the quarterback position. I am all for Blake Bortles coming in. A lot of people are saying that this should be a transition year for him. I don't think it should be a transition year for him. If you're going to get a lot of success from Blake Bortles, who is coming off an excellent preseason, why not give him that opportunity to come in here and start doing work? The Jacksonville Jaguars, I still do not think this team is ready to make a big push. They're starting the season 0-2. I don't expect anything fancy going for them for the rest of the year. But you know what? They're still building up for a very high draft pick. There's still a lot of areas on this team that really need some rebuilding. The offensive line is one of them. They still need to add some depth to that line, and the defensive line is set to go, but you know what? They still need a lot of success on the offensive side of the ball. Hopefully a running back could come into the picture, maybe in the second round of the 2015 draft, but the Jaguars nonetheless start the season 0-2. Blake Bortles could potentially start next week. I think that's going to be one of the most undermined storylines going into week 3 of the 2014 NFL season. So after this game tonight, guys, the Washington Redskins walk away with the victory, 41-10, losing Deshaun Jackson, losing Robert Griffin III, but Kirk Cousins comes in and does work against the Jacksonville Jaguars, defeating the Jaguars 41-10. My name is Justin Godsey for the Football Source. Thank you so much for checking out today's video, and we'll see you guys in my next NFL game.